Good morning and welcome back to my channel. So today we are starting lecture number 59, bio section, and title is pedigree analysis. This is a complicated topic. So I want you to please listen carefully. First things first, try to familiarize yourself with how the pedigree chart is represented and then practice as many pedigrees as possible. This is the only way to gain confidence in this particular topic. There are two sections. In the first section, you will understand why pedigree analysis is important. And in the second one, you will understand the standard symbols which are used to represent pedigree chart. So see, unlike pea plant and other organisms like Drosophila, rats and mice, control crosses are not possible in case of human beings. So you cannot perform a test cross or back cross or reciprocal crosses on human beings because of ethical, legal, social issues. This is called LC. You will learn about it in higher class. So while doing human experiments, you have to consider all these aspects. So because we cannot do crosses, the option is we have to study the family history in order to understand inheritance of a particular genetic disorder. So pedigree analysis involves study of family history over several generations about inheritance of a particular trait. Okay, several generations. This is important. So now we will understand the symbols, how to represent individuals and family members in pedigree chart. So first things first, familiarize yourself with the standard symbols. The moment you see the symbol, immediately the relevant term should flash in your mind. So what is this? This is male. This is empty square. So this is healthy male, unaffected male. This circle represents female. So more specifically, you should say this circle represents unaffected or healthy female. A diamond, it represents sex is unspecified. And when you have all these three which are shaded, this indicates affected individual. So how do you represent it on piece of paper? Just make a simple square. Okay, this is healthy male. This is healthy female. This is sex unspecified. The individual is healthy. And if you darken it, okay, shaded one or filled boxes, they represent affected individual. So this is affected male, affected female, and this is affected individual in which the sex is unspecified. Now, a line between a square and circle indicates mating, marriage. If there are two lines, it indicates mating between relatives. This kind of mating is called consanguineous marriages or mating. Now, see, the line between the two indicates mating, and this vertical line, which is joining to one circle and one square, this indicate the progeny, the offspring, the children. So the firstborn is a female daughter, and then the second child is male. So parents are denoted above and children's below. And this is the birth order. First child was girl and then a boy. Now we have this mating that gave rise to a son that was affected. So parents with male child affected with disease. And this is the 5 unaffected offsprings. So one thing which is not given in NCERT textbook is if you have a square or a circle or a diamond, with a dot in it. Dot. This indicates carrier. Very important point. Carriers are, they are unaffected. Okay? Unaffected. But as the name suggests, they carry the affected allele, and therefore they can pass the affected allele to subsequent generation. So alteration or change in the genetic material is referred to as mutation, and this leads to genetic disorders. So in NTA syllabus, you will have to learn about these 5 human genetic disorders, okay, which are due to mutations. So the gene is affected. So in case of phenylketonuria, chromosome 12 is affected. Then sickle cell anemia 11. Then thalassemia, both 16 and 11, both are affected. And in color blindness and hemophilia, the X chromosomes are affected. See, this point is important. It is not given in NCERT textbook. Human male is described as hemizygous for X-linked genes. So only for X-linked genes, human male is called hemizygous. What does this statement means? If you look at Y chromosome, it doesn't have any of the alleles which are found in X chromosome. This Y chromosome has one important gene which is called SRY. It is SRY, sex determining region Y, and it is responsible for making the cell a male. Okay, so none of the alleles are present on Y. So whatever is present on X chromosome will be expressed, whether it is healthy allele or affected allele. Okay, so disease will be seen if the gene is affected, because there is nothing on XY chromosome which can compensate for the function. Okay, so only with respect to X-linked genes, human males are called hemizygous. So keep this thing in mind. In case of male, if the allele is affected on the X chromosome, this male will become affected with the disease, because you don't have any other allele on Y chromosome to compensate for the function. In case of females, if this allele is affected, we have another allele which can take over the function. Okay, so this is the reason, if one allele is affected, supposing if I show this as color blind, okay, the female will not become color blind because the healthy allele is present on the other X chromosome. But in case of male, if this gene is lost, allele is affected, then there is nothing to compensate for the function. So one single X chromosome, in this case, this male will be affected. Okay. So for female to be affected, you will have to have the affected allele on both the X chromosome. Then only she will show the disease. So now we have understood everything, how to read a pedigree chart. So let us first understand autosomal dominant trait. The disease category given is myotonic dystrophy. So what do you see here? The name is autosomal dominant. So the affected allele is dominant. So even if one copy is present, it will show up as disease. So here we can see female. Okay, this female is affected, and her husband is healthy. Now there are 1, 2, 3, and 4 children. Don't count this female as child. Okay, you have to count the number of lines. So this is healthy female, this is affected male, healthy male, affected female. So we have both male and females, healthy as well as affected. So this indicates that this particular female is heterozygous for this dominant allele. Okay, so she has one copy which is affected, one autosome which is affected, and another autosome is unaffected. So This and this combines one healthy chromosome from father and one healthy from mother. So this is the reason this female is healthy. But this male is affected because it received the defective allele, the chromosome, and one healthy from father. Now in heterozygous condition, the disease shows up because it is dominant. So remember the law of dominance. In heterozygous condition, it shows up. This is again healthy. This is also this is not related to the family. This is affected. Okay. Now because this is affected, this female is affected. And luckily these two sons, they received the healthy copy. Okay. So what do you see here? This is the first generation. This is the second generation. And this is third generation. So the disease shows up in each generation. There is no skipping of generation. So this is the characteristic feature of dominant trait. Okay. And autosomal, how will you identify this is autosomal? If male and female both are affected, okay, this indicates it is autosomal. Simple. No skipping of generation, it is dominant, and both male and female affected, it is autosomal. Now based on this, we have this question asked in NEET 2022. Which of the following occurs due to the presence of autosome linked dominant trait? So sickle cell anemia, hemophilia, thalassemia, all are recessive. This is the only one which is dominant, and it is autosomal dominant, myotonic dystrophy. So see, if this is the hand of the physician and this is patient's hand, so the physician has asked the patient to hold doctor's hand tightly, okay, and then the patient was asked to relax the grip, but then he was unable to relax his fingers. So you can see sustained contraction. There is delay in relaxation. So difficulty relaxing muscles after contraction. Okay, this disease is called myotonic dystrophy. I would recommend you to check this video. This is the title, Myotonic Dystrophy. It is available on YouTube. Now this pedigree chart represents autosomal recessive trait. The specific example is sickle cell anemia. Now try to remember sickle cell anemia is autosomal recessive. So autosomes are affected. So characteristic feature of autosome is male and female. Both will be affected in the pedigree chart. Okay, so that point is covered. Both are affected. Both affected. Male and female. And then this is the first generation. This is second generation. And this is third generation. So what do you see? No one is affected in the first generation. So one generation is skipped. So skipping is seen in recessive trait. No skipping in dominant and skipping seen in recessive. So this is how you will identify whether the trait is autosomal or X-linked or dominant or recessive. Okay. Now see here also you can see skipping of generation because the disease shows up in the third generation. So if you just consider this part of the family structure, parents are unaffected, these are also unaffected, but this one is affected. So grandparents are unaffected, parents are unaffected, but this son is affected. Okay, so two generations are skipped. This is X-linked recessive trait, and hemophilia or color blindness. This is applicable to both. Both are X-linked recessive trait. So what do you see here? This is male, affected male. Okay, so affected male will carry this defective allele. Okay, and there is no other healthy allele present on Y chromosome. So the defect is seen, it manifests as a disorder. Okay, so this is the reason why this male is affected. Now this male will transmit Y chromosome to all his sons. Okay, these three sons. And because mother is unaffected, so sons are healthy. But this X chromosome from father is passed on to the daughters. Now this daughter is a carrier, okay, because her sons are affected. So the X, affected X, let's say hemophilia, okay, and the Y. So this X went on to this daughter, and another healthy X was received from mother. This is the reason she is a carrier. So carriers are denoted with a dot in between. And then this affected X chromosome was passed on to these two sons. So what are the important points you should note down here? Males are affected, okay, and there is skipping of generations. So skipping of generation will relate to recessive trait, and because males are affected, okay, you have more males affected here, there is no equal proportion of male and female affected. So when males are affected, it is indicative of X-linked disorder. So based on this, we have this question asked in NEET 2015. In the following human pedigree, the filled symbols, they represent affected individuals. Identify the type of given pedigree. So what do you see here? 4 generations are shown. So father, then this daughter is affected, this son is affected, this son is unaffected. And then from this daughter, it goes to this daughter is unaffected, and the 4th generation, males are affected. So male and then female and then male. Here we have male, male, and none are affected here. Here the male is healthy and this male is affected. So see, the hint is over here. This father has transmitted a disease to son. Now this will not happen in if the disease was X-linked. Okay, father will not transmit an X-linked disease to son. So because this is both are affected, this indicates it is autosomal. And since there is skipping of generation over here and over here and here is also, so it indicates it is recessive. So this pedigree is autosomal recessive. Option 4 will be the answer. Okay, so the hint is this one. If father and son are affected, it can't be X-linked, because father will transmit only Y to the son. Okay, so because both are affected, that means it is not X-linked, and because there is skipping of generation, therefore it is recessive. Okay, so just to ask 2 questions and you will be able to crack the pedigree. Next question. Which of the following muscular disorder is inherited? So inherited muscular disorder, the classic example is Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. Option 2. So DMD is X-linked recessive. So again, more males are affected in this case. Okay, it is X-linked recessive. Now see this question on consanguineous marriage. Which one of the following symbol represents mating between relatives in human pedigree analysis? So when male and female are connected with 2 lines, this indicates mating between relatives, which is also called consanguineous marriages. Option 4 is the answer. So this was all about pedigree analysis. In the next lecture, we will talk about hemophilia. Thanks a lot for watching my video and take good care of yourself.